Greetings, Legendary Badass here, streaming some thoughts on. I wasn't really sure how to go about this first stream of the new year. We do have a Liquid Death on hand here. So let's snap into a Slim Jim, shall we? I also have a tub with Reese's Pieces. And I would like to actually start off talking a little bit about Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, the situation they've brewed, where it's like the MAGA tribe's like, hey, we made it. We got Donald Trump back. And then just as they're about to cross the finish line, stumble over a rock over here. Vivek and Elon, who, by the way, I actually wanted to get in on Doge, be like, hey, I'm an expert on efficiency. You can use me with my eye for efficiency to cut down on some of the clutter in the government. I was seriously considering that. But Vivek is so much of a snake oil salesman. He's such a slick talker. His fortune is built on, hey, I went to Ivy League, therefore I got to rub elbows with rich kids. And they got me in on a scheme for, I believe it was an Alzheimer's drug or diabetes drug, some drug. And then we're going to rug pull. And somehow when I'm in charge of the company, it's losing money, but I have almost $900 million. Yep, doesn't sound fishy at all. Where is this drug? Oh, it never really went to market, but we found a way to make a lot of money. Wasn't there a guy that was assassinated in the streets of New York because he is in that slimy go-between world of not a doctor that fixes people, but the healthcare provider that makes all the money? And I got to thinking here, that's really where all the money is now. Unless you can dunk, or rather shoot a three, or okay, you don't even need to make threes. You can just be tall and attempt three-pointers or complete a pass in the NFL. Then the only way to make money now is to scheme, is to rip people off. And there's different avenues to do it because hard work does not pay the money people expect. So he goes on this diatribe on Twitter. Don, I see you. New to here. See you guys. Hey, Happy New Year. What did I get in? Dental appointment thing? No, that's a year ago. He goes on this diatribe. Well, you guys, okay, some Laura Loomer. Look, a broken clock is right twice a day. Laura Loomer can actually be correct every God knows when. But her broken clock came through. This crazy bitch, she's like, hey, why are you guys back in this H-1B stuff? You guys are Doge, you're cleaning up stuff. The whole MAGA platform was America first. But how come it's, oh, you stop look, I'm going to do a video about this. I'm just giving you guys some of this stuff here. Elon Musk is like this great firefighter who also fiddles with the kids. And it's like, look, he's on the clock all the time. He's ready to take out these fires. Look at all the lives he saved. Look at all these innovations. It's so much safer living. But every once in a while, we have to let him play Fortnite. What do you think I was going to say, right? And yeah, that's all going in a video. My more loyal viewers are getting to hear about it here. Elon will help champion closing the border, stopping the illegal immigrants. But the side effect is he gets to bring in the ones from India to work in his factories cheaper than the Americans will. That's the trade-off. So then the MAGA people are like, truthfully, we really did want to cut back on the illegal immigration. Oh, well, let's just rephrase that illegal immigration, shall we? Super skilled workers who come in and take less money, take American jobs, but don't worry, it's done the right way. It's through the channel of the visas. That's Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy right there. Vivek really showed his cards by slamming Corey Matthews. How dare you? oh, America can't make the workers that we need because they have a society that values Corey Matthews and Slater more than Screech. And I'm like, what did Corey Matthews do here? Why is he catching these arrows? Why are we generalizing all of America like this? There, not every American is John Bones Jones. Okay, if they were, we'd probably be in a pretty good place. I wouldn't have to make some kind of urban dress-up kit for my parents with temporary Russian neck tattoos so they could walk around New York City without getting accosted. Not every American is also some nerd that plays Dead by Daylight on the after hours. There's a lot of different Americas. But Vivek generalizes. Yeah, my family's from India and we know better than you guys. Don't worry, we're going to import the third world over here, pay people less. As long as certain people at the top make more money, doing almost nothing, but they have a vision, that's the end route there. Now, because Elon has the ear of Donald Trump, I think there are actually some good things that could come of this because he is a bit of that geek. 2025 is when the Running Man is set. We have the technology now to even fake the evidence with the deep fake shit like they pulled over on Arnold, right? Why can't we get the Running Man? Put these criminals to use. We are filling up the prisons and we got broke dick Joe Biden over here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna commute the sins over here. Where my ice cream? Well, yeah, definitely bad. I'm gonna pop him nose. Yeah, okay. So you got rid of the death sentence for some real thugs. And we can't get anything out of that? We can't put WWE, UFC, the TKO banner together and have them fight it out and chase these guys in some kind of live death match for entertainment value? To help get ourselves out of this debt to China? We can't do that shit? Guys, I'll get to the chat later. I am on a roll. I'm on a roll. Tip with whatever. Guys, look, I'm going to tell you this. There's some inside baseball bullshit. The beginning of the year is a bad time for YouTubers. YouTube, Google kneecaps the ad revenue so damn hard. I'm really going to have to lean on you guys becoming channel members. And I'm working on some really unique stuff. I'm pushing the envelope. I'm taking movie reviews to places YouTubers are afraid to go. And I'm going to need your help there. So that stuff, there's no other way to go about that than to paywall it. Just straight up. Because there's no way you can put that on YouTube even under 18 plus, no ads, all that stuff with all that work. It's just the only way it can go. Because otherwise it kind of has to be in like this weird unlisted area or your private video almost. So I'm going to get into all the shit. So I'm saying the Running Man, make it real. Why not? America would like it. I also think, and so much of this is going to go in a video later, so that people can search for it and find it, right? How far away are we from privatizing the election? Oh, hey, Elon Musk privatized. No, they bill it as he saved free speech, right? I saved free speech. Give me credit. Okay. What does saving free speech look like? Paywalling it. You've privatized free speech and it's under a paywall and you have to pay him exuberant money, even jack the price up. I got a year's worth for like $100. A year before it was like 80. Now it's going to be like 120. Oh, but you still got access to Grok. Fine. I'll use Grok to make thumbnails to make fun of your ass. Just did. Now what we have is you pay me money or you don't really have free speech. You get to shout into a basket that nobody can hear. That's the free speech part. Now, the Twitter thing worked when there wasn't mass censorship. But then when the government leaned on them and was like, hey, it'd be great if you fix the election for us, do some censorship. And they're like, fine, that's the side we wanted to win anyways. and you're paying us. Cool. It's come back the other direction. Now you don't have the censorship, but you're paying people to tweet. And I'm saying tweet instead of post because I'm not a crazy asshole. So people are not really saying anything sincere on Twitter. They are regurgitating old ass clips to get some kind of reaction to engagement farm, and then they show off these $20,000 checks they have for being kind of cute and talking about MAGA. And that's about all they do. And it's, hey, I have a video game history channel account. Oh, you can only pick one Genesis game to play on an island. What controller did you use first? They don't care. They're just throwing questions out there to get the engagement bait so that they can get things rolling, and then they get some ad revenue. And it's astonishing that that's actually made Twitter worse. I had to go after some asshat because he pointed his phone at the Fox News screen of the Cybertruck blowing up in Las Vegas, right? So he gets to make a lot of money off of a terrorist attack that's reported by Fox News. Look at all the unscrupulous bullshit ways people are making money now. Who is making real money doing shit honest? Who's the last person to honestly succeed and make ass loads of money? Not in a nefarious way at all. I'll tell you who. J.K. Rowling. Drop the mic. There isn't anybody else. Everybody else creates shit and then Netflix screws it up. You can't get anywhere with anything. You got to put something on YouTube. You get pennies on the dollar. You lose more money. Instead, steal shit, rephrase it into some kind of question, wait for some black guy to punch a white elderly person and throw her down a subway, and then I didn't do it, but I get to share the video, and that gets me money from Elon. Great society you made there. So yeah, we are not far from privatizing the election. Oh, you guys want your election in one night? We can do that. It's going to cost you $50 a vote. Now you could leverage that shit. So what if you got 10 million votes and you're some nobody, right? That doesn't mean 10 million people would buy your book. But if 10 million people are willing to spend $50 to say, I think this guy might be a good president, that's also people who will buy all your merch and shit too. Probably did. From the source. Not through some YouTuber's cobbled together print store or whatever. Teespring or Print Fiction, whichever it is. That's where we're headed. They'll say, you know what? There's so much money being left on the table, not charging people to vote. We're silly not to do that. We charge people to vote. We have election every 2 years and all this other bullshit. Okay, the lesser one every 2 years, we won't be $50. It'll be $25. And the candidates, they get a slice of the action. We start working on national debt. I mean, I'm throwing this out here in this kind of like Twilight Zone hyperbole bullshit scenario, and it sounds plausible, doesn't it? Because that's the way shit's heading. Okay, how about we get into some, God's sake, you guys. Did I miss the stream? Dawn has a way of always starting with, did I miss the stream? Was Nosferatu worth the free ticket? Not exactly. I'll tell you a little bit about my experience regarding Nosferatu. So, the free ticket from YouTube is fine and dandy. Could be used at Regal, or you could ask for one from AMC. I went with Regal. However, at Regal, they have a way of saying no passes for every movie. So, there was an upcharge. How did they go about trying to make money on a movie now at the end of 2024? Well, the big auditorium, now this was really quite groundbreaking. It said Mufasa and Sonic 3. You know Disney was leaning on this theater saying, hey, if you want the next Marvel thing, you have to have Mufasa the Lion King in your main auditorium for X number of weeks. They did the same shit with Captain Marvel. And everybody knows it. If you want the last Star Wars Episode 9 in your theater, you have to show Captain Marvel first at the beginning of the year, or you don't get Star Wars. That was the deal. Yeah, okay, fine. We want that, but we also want to make money. Mufasa / Sonic 3. So Sonic 3 was actually playing. That's what people were wanting to go see. But every few hours or whatever, we might put in Mufasa also. How do you make money with Nosferatu? Oh, it's a rated R movie. What are we going to do? Charge a shitload of money for a ticket. How do you go about that? You make special rooms, fewer seats, big recliners. I had like the greatest seat you could possibly have, dead on center, over a balcony that, big enough screen and shit, reclining, with heated seats, dual cup holders with dual trays. I also spent $20 on a medium drink that was freaking massive. It was like a Route 44 from Sonic, as well as a medium popcorn, which was a pretty big bag of popcorn that I finished at the end of the movie, so it was appropriately sized, but still $20. The ticket from YouTube was good for like $14 worth of the $18. It's a matinee ticket in my town now costs $18 because, well, it's not a typical auditorium. It's a 21 plus. You got to be 21 plus to get in that auditorium over there. There's fewer seats. Kids aren't throwing shit everywhere. You have a big ass recliner. All the upcharge shit is built into the ticket now. They didn't offer Nosferatu in a $9 bigger room or any of that shit. The only way you could get a $9 movie or to get the free ticket from YouTube was if you went and saw Mufasa. I shit you not. The only free ride would be Mufasa. So that was some crazy shit. Scabs, they're not better workers. We're just hiring the cheaper people. That was Elon's play. Hey, I'll befriend Trump and it'll help me in the long run because it's going to allow me to get the cheaper labor. Are there any hot Indians in your opinion? Barely. There are all these Bollywood actresses. They float out there as if they're something, and they're kind of like, I don't know, Timu. Is it Timu or Timu? Kim Kardashian. Every once in a while, I come across one that's like, wow, she looks pretty good. But then she's not famous. But then the ones that sing terrible and dance stiff and all look the same just kind of look, I don't know, just regular or something, like shit. Oh, like, okay, Slumdog Millionaire. The chick from Slumdog Millionaire, not all that crazy. The mom that got killed by the Islamic people in the riot, she was hotter than the hot chick in the movie. So could you go without the internet and video games for a year or for 2 million? Probably. You know I'm cutting back on the gaming. I issued a mass message on Xbox Live. Met with, a lot of people like, no, you can't leave. He's legendary. He can't go. But too much of gaming is making me feel miserable, or it's wasting my time from maybe other things that could better waste my time. And my skills are just not there. I can't play the competitive games like I could in college. For one, they don't really support my system, the way I played before. I actually had screens I was going to show you guys here. I screwed up. But yeah, there's whatever with Musk. Oh, that's actually kind of frozen from before. So good thing I didn't go to that, I guess. Actually, yeah. So there's something weird about OBS, it freezes my screen here, and it always says you want to start in safe mode and you report the way it didn't close normal. I'm like, I hit the close button. How is this shit going to close? So we may have a hard time doing like a trailer reaction, but I did have trailers at Nosferatu I wanted to talk about, and I just kind of wanted to say a few things. So let me get through some more of the chat and remind me to talk about the trailers, okay? Because honestly, I didn't have those trailers ready to go. So I don't, also every time I do a damn trailer thing, I get some kind of like, oh, you use the copyright Superman theme, you can't, monetization. And I'm like, fine, I'm just not going to monetize any stream, but I need something to happen here. I need more channel members. I don't know. Do you guys, hopefully you guys have to auto renew channel membership and go out of your way to cancel it as if it was Netflix, right? Or like when you say, oh, I can't really afford the $2.99 this month, and then it says, what are you, homeless? Like it like actively makes fun of you when you try to cancel. I don't know. I think that would entice people to stay. Are classical theaters dying? You know what? Though I don't appreciate the near $20 matinee ticket, this movie theater that Regal bought, it was called Warren. It was a guy in locally who had these like extravagant Art Deco theaters. And he sold a few years ago, I think right around lockdown, to Regal. It seems like that's being retooled as a for the adults theater. Like, hey, adults are into movies, kids are not. Teenagers don't give a shit. So let's sell tickets to the adults. Let's give them a more premium experience and price it in a way that kids can't afford it. That goes in line with something I said before, where it's the people who are older are the ones that care about movies. So start making the movies for them. In fact, we're making the theater experience for them. So there is that could look, if the ticket's that expensive, somebody's got to be staying in business. I'll just leave it like that. So we'll see how that pans out. Why do you like Caitlin Clark? Man, when she bent the knee for do you know what they did? They said, hey, let's give Caitlin Clark this Sports Athlete of the Year award so that we can bait her into a trap interview and get her in some unflattering dress and tell everybody that she thinks she's encroaching on black spaces and stepping on black voices and how they built the league and she's just there borrowing it on their time. That is why she got the award, was so she could be put in that interview. Prove me goddamn wrong. Who is more successful in 2024, DC or Marvel? Was there a DC movie in 2024? There was Deadpool and Wolverine. I guess that counts as Marvel. I don't know. Marvel by default? Like, shit. Did you like the Batman with Robert Pattinson? Patterson, as you say it. Yeah, I liked it. I had to pee near the middle end. It seemed like the longest, almost 3-hour movie. It felt like 4 or 5. I did like it. It worked out as a pretty good Batman movie. Whereas a lot of times we get a Joker movie or a Bruce Wayne movie. So yeah, that was not bad. I kind of need to rethink how I've got some things in the way over here. Yeah, that's... All right. What made neurotic YouTube so popular? The name is asinine, but it appeals to people. Oh, he's a nerd. Actually, the term is geek. Nerd is more of a math, paper, pencil, get out your graphing calculator. Nerd is not the same as geek. Geek is, oh, I collect the comic books. I have a ton of action figures behind me. Look how many action figures I have. Aren't you envious of all my action figures? I must be an expert on absolutely everything because I have everything behind me like a dick. That's what made him popular. So much of YouTube, and in the earlier mid days of YouTube, to try to show that you're an expert. Oh, I talk about NES games, but I have every NES game cluttered behind me. I have every game console. I must be an expert. Watch my channel. Well, he's a pop culture expert, can't you tell? He has all these figurines behind him made in China as if he crafted them by hand. Shit. What made Mad TV so popular? It isn't. It was an alternative to SNL for a short period of time in a time when SNL was having a rough go. People don't remember, but earlier Will Ferrell, it was all him and Sherry O'Terry doing the cheerleader. Whatever, she sniffs her arms, superstar. Like, that was all they had. It was pretty bleak. Why is Critical Drinker so popular? Just because he was so incensed about Captain Marvel. That's it. He had a Captain Marvel video that went viral and then just twisted. Well, one, I mean, he can't tell a joke, but he can sure show you J. Jonah Jameson laughing, and then all these stupid kids think that's hilarious, seeing it 25,000 times. You know, he just has a formula. He stokes the flames. Andrew Tate, so popular. Because he says the things people are afraid to say, even if it's dumb. That's about all he's good for. You love being a comedian? Sure. Why don't you do more stand-up? I do, but it's not here. Like, all so much. Our comedy club shut down, so I don't tape most of my stuff so much. How much do you make off of AdSense from YouTube? Dick squat. Will Disney ever sell Star Wars? I mean, look at it. Okay, look, I feel like to be a YouTuber, you have to do as much of this on your own as possible, but the people that make money here don't. And that's a big problem. There are so few big YouTubers that don't have a team and writers gathering things for them and using AI to get bad stats from sports and just all this other shit and getting information wrong. Or, hey, here, the algorithm said that we need to opine on this car crash over here on the news. That's what everybody's talking about. So you have to have a video about it. Fine, I'll just sit down, say whatever my writers came up with, leave it to them, leave it to a producer to edit it. Shit, I mean, they don't do anything. They have incredibly expendable opinions because they don't get their hands dirty and do shit. It would be one thing if we still had a few of those like citizen journalists that were on the scene. Didn't the kid with the beanie, the kid that always has the beanie, Tim Pool, didn't he used to go out and like find the story and like this boots on the ground thing? Like, oh, the real news isn't showing you the truth. Nope. Instead, it's easier to sit and talk about, read some ads, like all the other tools. So that's what everybody wants to see, right? So what am I doing? What is your favorite DC movie? The first movie I saw, live action in a theater, Batman, 1989. And you know, people say, oh, it aged better. Movies don't age. That's the entire point. It was a moment captured in time. I think there are aspects of it that could have been improved and are addressed, but then other movies screw shit up also. So I kind of feel that As DC character stuff goes, the most sound movie is probably Batman Begins. I did like The Dark Knight, but I don't think it has a particularly good story, and I think that most of why people like it is directly Joker involved. And I do like the Justice League Snyder Cut, but I can't really quite consider that a movie. It wasn't released in theaters. It was sort of a make good afterward project. So if one were to review the Justice League, they would have to be the crap that was sabotaged on screen. So, are you burnt out on YouTube? Yeah. So I'm trying to go up in flames here. We're pushing the envelope. We're going to have reviews that the other YouTubers are just simply not allowed to do. And we'll see what happens. Because screw it, right? Either the channel gets... well, this wouldn't be demonetized. This would be like straight deleted. Or I get to buy a new Lotus Emira. One or the other. Will Snow White make 500 million? If Disney was ran sensibly, is it Bob Iger? Is he the one that run who? No, David Zaslav, right, at Warner Brothers Discovery. If he was running Disney, I guarantee goddamn shit you. Guarantee goddamn shit. Now that is a t-shirt. If he was running Disney, that movie would not see the light of day. It would be in the can, ready to go, just starring John Cena and Wile E. Coyote, and it would get locked behind closed doors, buried in a vault in the desert alongside E.T. on Atari. No one would see it, and it would be a tax write-off. That's what should happen with Snow White. But it's not. And so Disney will have to give away free tickets and shit. Have it share the big auditorium because no one wants to watch it. You know, like I told you about Mufasa and Sonic 3, right? I didn't see Sonic 3 for my free ticket because I'm too far behind on the Sonic franchise. And I have another like full year of Paramount Plus. Sonic 1 and 2 are on it. I'll wait for 3 and then I'll watch them and have proper review with the footage and all the things for you guys to click on and talk about. All right? Disney is not going to let Snow White flop. It's kind of like the Crown Jewel franchise. This is the one that got them going. So, one way or another, it'll make $1 billion. It will make $1 billion some way. Or is it not allowed to do that? Does it have to become the number one movie of this whatever the hell kind? Right? Does it have to be the tops? Why don't you do Disney news videos like Critical Drinker and Yellow Flash? First of all, I never heard of Yellow Flash. Second, news videos are redundant. I prefer evergreen content. People can look for a review and then see something about it. Instead, you got these guys in a rut, like Drinker and Nerdrotic, who have to just doomcock. They have to comment on the news and rumors or make their own rumors. My sources inside say that Kathleen Kennedy's in big trouble. And it's like, have you said this 5,000 times before? Oh, you have. And you got a lot of views for it. So you have to keep saying it again. And they'll structure a video. And if you guys are media savvy enough, you'll be able to spot this. You see this with all the channels that are in this kind of news rut. There is an 8-minute video, and maybe a minute of it is on topic, so that they can then launch into the talking points that they use in all their other videos. And it's just kind of like, yep, now we're at the point here where we've heard this all before. Click. Too many people fall for that shit. Will J.R. Martin ever finish The Winds of Winter? Never read any of his stuff. Don't really know too much about him. He has a beard. I know of him, and I think that it is beneficial for him to not finish it. It's kind of like he's being held hostage. And it's like, tell me who you work for. It's like, hold on, I'm getting there. If I tell you who I work for, you're going to kill me. So here's a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. You see, and he distracts everybody. No, I want to do Elden Ring instead. That's what I want to do. That's why he's never going to finish anything. Let's make sure we clip that. I can never get that to work on this thing. Now I've really messed everything up. Where are we here? Oh my God, you guys are typing way too much stuff. Is Lily Gladys hot to you? The name sounds familiar. Lily Gaddis? Gaddis or Glass? Man, it sounds familiar. I don't know who that is. What made world-class bullshitters so popular on YouTube? Going to Ollie's and talking about the figures that are not sold, that are still on the shelf, and doing that every day of the week. And then spending the first 2 minutes of the video telling you about his latest graphic novel. And it's kind of like, guys, if anyone cared, they would have bought it already. What would you have rated Lily Lowe's Depp at? Not pleasant, Dawn. She was a hot mess in Nosferatu. I mean, I wanted to save some of that for the review, but yeah, she was bad. Emma Corrin, don't have a high opinion of her either, but she was definitely in, like, more believable. And also, that Skargar kid, it's like, hey, we always have to find, we got this like hunky 6'4" guy, and like all the girls like him, but when we try to make him like a good guy, they hate him. So we got to make him like a creepy bad guy, and that'll be sexy. Except we went with Nosferatu instead of Bram Stoker's Dracula, so he never gets the like sexy vampire edge. Instead, he's just full on long fingernail creep. And man, that shit backfired so bad. Oh, Jesus. And to tell you the truth, and I was going to save this for the video review, whatever. I wish that he like spoke Romanian like the whole movie so that I could get the goddamn subtitles, because I couldn't understand anything this guy was saying. He sounded like, oh shit, I wrote this down too, and I don't remember what I put. He sounded like somebody doing like a Darth Vader impression, but it was bad. And then I had to like struggle to understand what he was saying. It was such a boring ass movie. Jesus. Oh, but it was so bold because it could be boring. Like, what was not big on that. No. I spent $17 on medium drink and popcorn. Yeah, this was $20. Why is it so expensive to watch a movie and eat popcorn? Because popcorn is even cheaper than soda, so the margin is fantastic for them. But we can't make any money on the ticket. Disney has to get the money, so we have to charge a ton of money to eat here. All that kind of garbage. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Frankly, look, I could kind of go back and forth between like Spider-Man 2 and Days of Future Past. But I think if you actually watch them back to back, you would see a lot of the problems with Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire is not that good of a Spider-Man. He's good in the movie, but I feel like Andrew Garfield would have really knocked it out of the park, and the writing for Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man is frankly better. He has the quips. He has the Spider-Man build. It just works better. There's a lot of miscasting in that Sam Raimi trilogy there. Hey, let's make the blonde girl a redhead, and then let's get a redhead and make her blonde. And there's Tobey Maguire. And why is James Franco not Spider-Man? Like, see, it's like some exercise in miscasting. X-Men Days of Future Past, when the dust settles, when all the superhero stuff's over, that'll be the one people were like, you know what? That one did it as right as they could. That's what they'll say. What brings you joy in life? What is it? Seeing your enemies driven before you and hearing the lamentations of their women. What are your New Year's resolutions? I want to really stop picking at my eyebrows. It's not that I pick them, but I just kind of like sit and like, dismay, just going like this all the time. And then, so I'm trying to like get that out of my system. You couldn't tell, but I've been using the tanning lamp. I look white as shit over here. I don't know. I was itchy, so I had to do that side. Do you watch the Challengers movie with Zendaya? No. She is not appealing to me. She is ethnically ambiguous olive oil. So I don't, and frankly, I was just about to watch another one of her movies. Dune 2 is on YouTube, or no, Netflix. Paying extra money to watch 4K with HDR, but we don't add any new movies in 4K with HDR, even though they're released as such on physical media. Netflix can't get their shit together. Or is Netflix just like so cheap? They're like, hey, we have to get some damn movies over here. What do you got for us? Oh, it's going to cost us more if we get it in 4K with HDR. Our customers will settle for HD. Is that the way this shit works? Because it's like almost, seriously, it's like, unless it's a Netflix original or Godzilla -1, nothing else is in 4K HDR. Like, Christ. So yeah, probably about to watch Doom 2 tonight. Do want to show you some other things I've been watching. Finally, The Rock has returned. I got this from England. This is I can't actually flip this over because look, this is for European use, and there is, hold on here. Yeah, we got to cover up one of the pictures for sure. But yeah, this movie, kind of interesting. It's like the progenitor of the sexy thriller of that, Michael Douglas made his fortune on, okay? And I will be getting into that. And yeah, this Blu-ray plays on American Blu-ray players, but wasn't released here. So you have like a hell of a time trying to acquire it. And I got like one of the last ones that wasn't opened. And it wasn't cheap. So I'm going to need some more channel memberships. Additionally, been watching this. I don't know if you guys know what the hell this is. So the talk was that the Mandalorian stuff was like kind of like this Lone Wolf and Cub series of movies. And I've watched 2 of the 6 on this Criterion Collection set. And there's like, yeah, I have one of them in my Xbox right now, but you got a booklet. You got this red sheet of paper right here is schematics for the baby cart. They have the samurai has a baby. He's got to take his kid everywhere, okay? His kid, he's on permanent take your kid to work day, and he has a baby cart he pushes him in. And there are schematics for like all the weaponry in the baby cart. It's kind of neat. Yeah, and that's a Criterion Collection Blu-ray set that I also received recently. I'm going to try to put this up here. Criterion, you guys are kind of pissing me off because, and I'm going to bring this up in my video on this, they have a way of having subtitles on by default, But when you go to the menu, it looks like it's off. And then you're like, oh, I'm about to start with the subtitles off. Okay, I'll switch that. Because the bold print on actually means no, off is selected. It's like who comes up with this interface? And I have another Criterion movie. It's a 4K. I'm having trouble getting this back in here. Shit. It has the same problem. So it is a problem over there at Criterion. And they're like, oh, no one noticed. Whatever. Okay, where have theaters been 100 years? Don't know. Did Netflix become how? But by being early to charge for a premium streaming movie, they were just kind of early for that, so that kind of fell in their lap. Nosferatu was not good. Artie Lang was great on Mad TV. Was he? I think I saw him on there. I can't recall. Part of the problem with Mad TV was they did the characters to death. Miss Swan, Stewart, like too much Java Man, like whatever it was, they did it every damn week or twice an episode or something. It was pretty insane. All right, so what else do we have here? Would you rather watch reruns? Stop with the would you rather shit, guys. Let's talk about serious stuff. Hypothetical questions, would you rathers, come on. But you are a member, so would you rather watch reruns of Lord of the Rings series or Underworld movies for a month straight? Haven't seen any of the Underworld movies, so I might be more inclined to go that route. Plus, if we're being honest, Kate Beckinsale looks a lot better than anything in the Lord of the Rings. In fact, I'm trying to recall, is Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings? Liv Tyler, but not hot. Kate Blanchett took a long time to get good looking. Full. Like, I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Best and worst DC comic TV series. Shit, I don't know. I mean, everybody says Batman the Animated Adventure, right? So, Batman Begins is great film, says Eric. The Snyder Cut is trash. You didn't like it? Aubrey Plaza or Whitney Cummings? Who would you rather date? Ooh, Whitney Cummings is looking better older. But Aubrey Plaza, kind of like her sense of humor. Prime Sarah Silverman. So this would be about 1984 when she's on Saturday Night Live and terrible. Or Lauren Chen. Would you rather? Ooh, God. Lauren Chen, not so much a whore. So might be more inclined to go that route. Oh, kick this tripod. Garfield is so much better than Maguire. Agreed. What is the sex appeal of Zendaya? I love Natalie Emmanuel. Is that how you say her name? She's in the Fast and Furious thing. I know who she like. What's her name? Like Missandry. It's like, okay, so you hate men. That's your character's name in Lord of the Game of Thrones. Yeah, she's the hot chick in Game of Thrones. None of the other ones. She's the hot one. So what do you think of Clownfish TV? You know what? I don't think I got to it. I think I looked that up or something. Vaughn has a boner for Isabel Adjani. I still don't know if I'm saying her last name right. There's going to be a lot of talk on, and honestly, she was in like a 70s Nosferatu movie. I was thinking about watching first before the new one. And now I'm probably going to watch it later and then do the review. I haven't really made up my mind on that. Lone Wolf and Cub. Great grab. We'll be talking about that. Okay, Vol, I'll buy it. What do I get if I purchase a membership? So you're supposed to get some, not everybody's supposed to be chatting with me, but I'm not popular enough to be able to cut people off. I'm no nerdrotic. I also don't really like the idea of the super chats, to be real with you. So I just rather people get a membership. But believe me when I say this, we're going to be pushing some envelopes with the reviews and the content. If you sign up, the first of such reviews is for Revenge. This was posted like the other week. There's going to be more 18 plus when it's appropriate to the topic, the movie being reviewed, with clips from the film that otherwise can't be on the platform. That I guarantee you, the drinker asshats, all the nerdrotics, the regular majors, they ain't going the same direction. You know, I'm just saying, screw it. Okay, YouTube, you want to play this game? Fine, I'll play your game. Oh, we want you to have paywalled special content. Well, what does that mean? Oh, you want to be vague about it? Okay, fine. We're gonna run it like it's HBO over here. Okay, I don't do would you rather questions. I'm better than that. Thank you, Eric. Would you rather not have another would you rather question? Audrey Plaza's too mid 2000s anti humor. But the thing is, it feels like she is the starting point. Like people try to be her. Who's trying to be like Whitney Cummings? See, that's the difference. Plus, she's got like the eye dagger thing going, which kind of cute, but weird looking small boobs that she now has to show everywhere so she can be a serious actress, get me awards, whatever. So, yeah. Sarah Silverman was de-virginized by my boy Kevin Brennan, old comic. Now, I might be thinking of somebody else here, but she bled all over the sheets. He is a YouTuber now. Well, he would be an old-ass YouTuber then, if that's the case. So no cringe review on Craven. I completely forgot about Craven. And to be real with you guys, every day since I saw Nosferatu, I forgot that I watched it. I'm like, wasn't there a movie oh, right. Hold on. Am I going to... Oh, okay. I had all the stuff I need to talk about. Let's talk about Elon. And, oh, right. Yeah, I need to say something about Nosferatu. Like, it's that forgettable. Did you still want me to super chat EFAP to get you on to retort to Mahler about... Yeah, I mean, we can do that, but yeah, I have a feeling they're not going to be down or whatever. So, I mean, look, I'm stepping into the lion's den. It's going to be 5 geeks. Oh, I'm sorry, nerds. We're nerds, don't you see? It's nerdrotic. We got the name wrong, but yeah. Whoever. You know it's going to be everybody versus me. What's the point? Like, I mean, if they want to do something like that, fine. It'll just bring more eyes my way. That's what I get out of it. But it's going to be for the wrong reasons. You know, it's going to be that kind of like engagement bait. I'm going to have like it's going to be like a brand new, all the fallout from the Hollow Knight review. It's going to be that all over again. People are like, I have to watch this guy because I hate him so much, which I kind of, if you had enough hate built towards you, I think there could be some appeal to going that way. But you can't just have these channels where 5-10 people all agree with each other. And then you have that shit where it's like, I'm trying to remember the damn movie. Oh, Alien Romulus. It was like, everybody, it's open bar, critical drinker here. Go away now, whatever he says, right? Everybody's like, yeah, you know, Alien Romulus wasn't too bad. Yeah, I kind of liked it. Oh, is bad. Oh, yeah. By the end of it, I agree with Critical Drinker. You changed my mind. Thank you, Sensei. Like, and these people have viewers, guys. These people who change their mind on a whim because the money train said so. Jesus Christ. Ah. Besides the pandering of Kate, shoot, what are we? You deleted us. I'm reading it. Come on, nude ear. Kevin Brennan's brother created the Chappelle Show. Yeah, Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm familiar with him. Yeah. Kevin hates his brother because Chappelle beat him on Star Search. Man, that had to have been a while ago. Hates his brother because Chappelle. I hate my brother because Dave Chappelle beat him on Star. But then they work together? Seems kind of weird. Tying that back to SNL, you know, you had Jim Brewer. He kind of paired with Dave Chappelle for a time. And Jim Brewer was on Saturday Night Live when shit wasn't going so well. He was Goat Man. And I kind of thought that a lot of his stuff worked, actually. It's kind of weird to look back on it, but I swear to you, Will Ferrell was not out the gate holding up Saturday Night Live like one may think would be the case. It wasn't until he was about ready to leave with a foot out the door and one hand stuck in the elevator saying, hold the floor for me. That's when Will Ferrell took off. Will Ferrell really doesn't take off until maybe 2003 with Old School. You got Old School and you had Elf in the same year. And that kind of helps Will Ferrell become a movie star. And if it weren't for that kind of like 1-2 punch like that, he's Chris Kattan, okay? You had your Corky Romano, you know, okay, so you were Magatu, you were in the Superstar, Magatu, Zoolander. You had a few little things, but you're kind of forgotten. So it really wasn't until Will Ferrell was leaving that anybody really gave a shit about him on the show. I like that black guy that played the android in Romulus. Oh yeah, he was good. If only I could remember his name. I did do a Romulus commentary track. If you guys are working on something and you need something to listen to, and you need to help me game the algorithm, right? Ironically, you answered my question, so I deleted it. Why do you hate the Cape Crew? The Cape Crew? They're called that? Jesus. That's just sad. Kevin Brennan was on Weekend Update on SNL for one season, but they fired him. No way. Oh, what? No. You mean as like an anchor on Weekend Update? Because this wouldn't make sense because it went. I mean, I could tell you the chronological order shit was going down. It was like Kevin Nealon. Then you had Norm Macdonald, Colin Quinn, and then you started to get, it got a little convoluted, but yeah. Vaughn and Kevin Brennan are the only channels I sub to. I guess I'm going to have to check this guy out. Hold on. I'm going to screenshot that just so I can remember. Okay. Now, I want to get into some other stuff here. Let me see. How's the best way I'm going to go about this? So if I pull up the notes, I don't think that comes up on your guys' screen here. I had some notes about movie trailers. These are some trailers that I saw, and because I don't go out of my way to actively watch trailers, I feel like in too many ways it spoils shit. And hell, I don't even remember the damn name of the movie for some of this, so maybe you guys will, and you can tell me what the hell I'm talking about. I call them the Cape Crew, derisively. Okay. So, some movie where Jack Quaid is torturing some broad and they're eating dinner together. And it's like, it's a love story. And it's like, you know, it's garbage when it says from the studio that brought you The Notebook instead of anybody that actually worked on it. You know, it's setting up some kind of gag and it's supposed to be like, it's a different kind of love story where the two people hate each other and he's a killer or something. Jack Quaid also has this other movie where I can't feel pain, but I'm not a superhero. Jack Quaid, the 2025 is the year Jack Quaid gets overexposed because he is, I can tell from the vibe of these two damn trailers, he's playing the Huey role again on The Boys. That's his thing. Weird kind of nebbish, neurotic kind of boyfriend guy that you wouldn't be proud to show to your parents. Be like, this limp dick idiot is you're dating him? Like, that's his thing. And I'm already sick of this shit. I have been sick of it. And he is on the verge of getting overexposed. I don't care how frequently he comes back to Red Letter Media. He's not ziggy zoggy, oi, 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 or one of us, whatever one of us, Google gobble, Google. Yeah, I got my shit mixed up with the Man Show, whatever. Flight Risk. You got some broad from, she's putting on an American accent. She's on the Downton Abbey. And she has to escort the Venom from Spider-Man 3 on a plane flown by bald cap Mark Wahlberg. And he's the bad guy. He like actually killed the... Look, they show too much of the damn movie in the trailer. It's called Flight Risk. We're establishing that Mark Wahlberg took out the pilot, and so he's not supposed to be here, and he's gonna he's a hitman. This isn't really the best way to do it. What was the plan? Do you have a parachute on so that you can steer this plane towards the mountains and jump out? Or is this like your last job? You have pancreatic cancer or something. What pissed me off most about this particular trailer, it says, from the director of Braveheart and Apocalypto. And I'm like, oh, so you have Academy Award-winning director Mel Gibson directing this? And you can't put that in your trailer. Like, we're so afraid of Mel Gibson still. Even though he seems to be hanging out with Donald Trump and we know who won the election. But we're like, nope. Now we can't mention that. And then nobody says, is this one of these movies that's getting kind of dumped in January? It seems kind of compelling because it's got the close quarters thing. Like, so much of it's taking place in this tiny little biplane. But you saw a lot of the activity in the trailer. No, if you really take out the pilot, are you going to leave his name tag and shit in the plane for these people to see so that she can pull a gun on you or a knife or whatever? I mean, you kind of see what all's happening there, and you get a good sense of what will ultimately happen in the film. So there's that. What else do we say here? I said so there's that. There's more movies I wanted to talk about. We'll get to that in a second here. Okay. You younger people should see William Devane from the 70s. He looks like Vaughn's father. Same voice pattern. He was the president in The Dark Knight Rises. I'll have you know. I did watch a William Devane movie the other day. It also had a really young-looking Tommy Lee Jones called Rolling Thunder. Not nearly as exciting as I'd hoped it would be. But, I mean, that was a thing that happened. So I watched that on Prime Video. It's probably not there anymore. Probably can't get clips. Probably, sometimes there's just things I just can't get to. For channel members, if I'm not going to do a video on a movie, should I at least write something up about it? This is something I saw in a post. Like, how should we go about that? I used to watch Downton Abbey. Am I gay? Sadly, Eric, that makes you gay. Ah, damn it. Turned out I was gay. Like, no, it kind of reminds me of Bedazzled. I watched Bedazzled on like Christmas Eve. I was at my uncle's place. My dad's like, let's watch this movie. Order it up on Prime Video. Because one joke in it, he wanted everybody to see. Like, shit. Good snow film to watch is Where Eagles Dare. Hadn't seen that on... That used to be one of those like mainstays of TNT. Jesus Christ, did Clint Eastwood get some spins on TNT, man? You almost, it's almost like it was called TNT because of Clint Eastwood. Like, didn't he have some TNT in like one of the Good, Bad, and the Uglies or something like this? Yeah, there were some explosions. Yeah. Man, yeah. He used to really get around there. Tommy Lee Jones was born 40. That's what I thought too. But he actually kind of looks like 25 in Rolling Thunder. And I was like, geez, I didn't know this guy was ever young. So there's that. He also didn't talk like Tommy Lee Jones. Like you have to get a certain world haggard, weary thing going to talk the way he does, right? Last movie trailer I want to talk about that I saw at Nosferatu. See, I keep forgetting I even saw the damn movie. I can't remember the name of this, but it's got that guy that unlawfully won an Oscar. Won. The Oscar goes to. No one wins an Oscar now. What's his name? Ramy or something? He was in Need for Speed. He's mostly like a TV guy, but he was a terrible Bond villain. Yeah, so he won for playing Freddie Mercury, but not singing. And that, we have to give him an award for this shit. He's like some CIA analyst, and his wife, Rachel Brosnahan, I hope I'm mispronouncing that bitch's name. I hate her. Personal vendetta. She gets killed by some terrorists, so then he goes from being the pencil pusher to how can I be trained up by Morpheus to become like a badass like John Wick. And he's like, nope, you just don't have it in you. But he can use his other tricks, like I like to plant explosives and then show up and tell you about it. And the trailer gives away the whole movie. And it was called something like The Amateur. I think it was called The Amateur or Protagonist or some shit, right? But it's funny because I'm like, you know what? Even though we see him catching up with the guy that pulled the trigger, had the gun to her head, whatever, and he's going to do like the Mechanic Part 2 move where it's like you have the swimming pool and there's explosives blood and you fall out of your awesome swimming pool that's on the high rise. And we saw that in the damn trailer. Like, geez, they're just like, no confidence. We can't get people to see this. We have to show them the whole damn movie. And they're going through all this stuff, and I'm like, at some point in the trailer, they're going to say Rachel Brosnahan, because she's a big TV. Both these people got their like primetime Emmys for best lead in a whatever the shit, right, on TV streaming, really, for her. There's no way Marvel's Mrs. Maisel's checking out of this movie that fast, right? Is this something that she did like a week before being Lois Lane? Like I could squeeze in my schedule. It just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like if she's supposed to be a thing, suddenly, God's sake, I hope not. If she's supposed to be taking off, then what good is this, right? It's kind of like a bait and switch thing. It doesn't mention her it's like with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or like showing much of her killed off in the trailer. I'm just kind of thinking that can't be right. Like no, she survived and it was all a trap and she was leaving your ass because you were weak, right? So yeah, those were the movies I saw the trailers for. Originally, I was going to shoot a review for Nosferatu and then kind of do like a director's cut version. I don't have any clips or anything to show. And then just kind of dive into the experience, paying way too much for popcorn, paying a whole lot for a ticket. In the trailers, but figured do it here instead. There was an arcade game called Rolling Thunder. Don't know if it's the same. It's radically different. Rolling Thunder is about special agents. There's 3 of them. The second one is a 2-player, and it's pretty cool. Rolling Thunder 2, it's all about like duck and cover, but it's almost like elevator action returns in a sense that you do go indoors but the screen doesn't change. It's like the screen waits for you to come back out the door with your new gun or whatever. But you can like jump over barriers. Pretty cool. Uh, the third one, I believe, is a Genesis exclusive, and it's single player, sadly. So yeah, Rolling Thunder. I have played Rolling Thunder 2 and 3 some via emulation. Done a little bit of that. Oh yeah, did you like Nosferatu? Not really. No. There were things that I found worked for it. Like there were there was camera movement where the camera would track and it would come to like an eerie stop, like an eerie um unnaturally smooth but quick dead stop. And that was an eerie thing. And then also the way the sound effects like dropped out when the carriage came by, the carriage door swings open making no sound. That adds to the eerie appeal. But then scenes linger and it's in the dark and you can't see anything. And Lily Rose Depp can't act, and you have to look at her five head. It was, just kind of wore on me. And I'm like, my biggest gripe though, you got these guys, they figure everything out. Yeah, so his boss on this thing, this book, this is what the guy's up to. He's actually this vampire, whatever. Are we not gonna go look for him in the daytime? Oh yeah, we will, but we'll wait 3 nights before we do that. We want to make sure he kills a few people first, before we single him out, just in case he's not such a bad guy. Okay, cool. Oh, he gets to kill my family. Oh, fine. I didn't know I was being sacrificed here. It's that kind of shit. And then they figure out, well, we got to get to him during the daytime. I'm like, where do you think he is? The whole plan was he's coming to town and he wants to buy this house on the hill, and you don't check that immediately? Hell, you brought in the expert and he's like, yeah, so he sleeps in the sarcophagus, and we're not going to call it a coffin, right? And he does all this shit, and I can't figure out that he doesn't like to be around in the daytime, but he has to sleep during the day. But let's not actually actively look for him. We have to go concern ourselves with Lily Rose Depp flipping out and being like, I don't know, hysterical. So just plot wise, I don't know if the original was like that. I can't recall. Been a long time since I've seen like what was it, 23 version? But I thought, oh, surely we could have updated this to, make a better story in some regard. I mean, it's Robert Eggers. He's good about having people talk period appropriate, getting to be a lost art. Pull up any video game now that has like a fan. Why am I saying sand? Try to get through a whole stream without slurring my speech, but Jesus, thank you, COVID. That long COVID got me, man. Watch any of these fantasy gameplay elements where they work in the woke stuff and people talk like it's 2024 instead of some fantasy realm. And it's like, yeah, we just gave up on that shit, right? At least Robert Eggers kind of gets that right. And if you watch The Witch, people talk very much like period appropriate, to the point that it can be hard to follow. But with a simple enough story, I think it works out. This simple story, still not very engaging. It just felt like, when's something interesting going to happen? Christ, we're just wasting our time here. So that's how I felt about that. Rey from Star Wars is in a Die Hard film. Bullshit. I thought this was an AI joke, but is she in the one that takes place in Russia for like a minute, maybe? Let me see if I can. Daisy Ridley, because what else could she possibly be in? She's not old enough to be in. Well, you know what? Maybe she could be in Live Free or Die Hard, but I'm thinking it's probably more likely A Good Day to Die Hard. I don't recall her being in either of those. scrolling, 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 keep scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. 2013 would be a good day to die hard. I don't see it. Oldest credit, 1991. Jesus. Then 2012. That's a chasm right there, guys. Yeah, I think somebody sold you some shite, as the drinker would say, buddy. I don't believe that's accurate. Ray from Star Wars is in a Die Hard film. No. Dracula 1931 is trash. I'm going to have to watch it. I watched, I think it was the 79 Frank Langella Dracula, and that was pretty good. I thought it was really cool how he like climbed from like the wall into her room and stuff. That was pretty cool. And they even had like a metamorphosis scene where he morphed into like a wolf as he jumped out a window. It actually looked pretty good for the time. I mean, it's not a computer effect thing. It's not doing the Willow stuff, but I mean, I thought it went pretty well. Bride of Frankenstein from 34 is godly. Holy crap, that I keep hearing that one's the best of the ilk. I know I watched the Frankenstein, but I haven't watched The Bride, though it might be on something like Paramount. I think it was somewhere, and I was thinking of watching it, but I just didn't get to it. And I thought my audience only wants to hear about the latest Star Wars crap, so may have to do that instead. I think it was one of those type of things. Loved The Witch. It isn't perfect, but they didn't handhold the audience with its plot. Yeah. You know, I was thinking about The Witch today. And, well, actually a couple days ago, after I watched Nosferatu, I was thinking, The Witch is so much better. Is it maybe the case that someone in the family was a witch the whole time? Wide-eye girl, Anya Taylor-Joy, it's her debut movie. Maybe she was a witch the entire movie, but it was kept from us. And maybe she didn't realize she was a witch. Like, she had the midi-chlorians and she was going to be this like chosen one, right? But she didn't realize it. And you don't even realize it till the end of the movie that she comes in with the witches, but they were cast out of the community because somebody was claiming them to be a witch. It's like, hey, instead of killing my family or whatever, let's just move. We'll just leave, whatever. We'll go hang out in the woods, and okay, the baby disappeared, whatever. Maybe the witches in the woods didn't take the baby. She inadvertently sent the baby away to them. Possibility, right? Daisy Ridley cleans windows and there are terrorists. Oh, that shit. Yeah. I'd seen this headline saying Daisy Ridley's going to be an action star now. That's the thing you're talking about. Yeah. Die Hard with a window cleaner. Yeah. Do they call it like The Cleaner or something? Like, I mean, because that sounds cool. That sounds like some Luc Besson thing, right? That'll trick people into watching it. Saw the Langella film too. It's pretty good, but it has a green filter for some reason. I don't really recall that so much. There were some 70s films that had a green filter to them. And they would often, and they kind of did involve Dracula or vampires or something like that. Maybe that was kind of the line of thought there. There is the crazy weird thing. You go on any of these streaming platforms and you look for something from the 70s. It is almost always like vampire erotica stuff. There are almost no movies from the 70s on streaming services that aren't some kind of like vampire lesbians take a man or something. Like, every one of them, I shit you not, it's some kind of European vampire fantasy erotica thing. Is the majority of 70s movies available on streaming platforms. Tubi can't have less than 20,000 of them. Like Tubi's got more of this stuff than they've got Amityville horror knockoffs. It's insane. So, if you guys don't mind, we're probably coming up on the hour 30 mark here. I might okay, a little bit more insider baseball stuff talk here. I bought a suit and a sport jacket. So I have two different jackets. And I'm going to try to figure out which one might work better on video for me. Do the live streams in like the baseball jerseys, right? But then do the videos hosted in like a suit, not a tie, but look a little more presentable. You know, like, hey, this is some upscale shit over here. I got to give this guy some money. And I might shoot a couple of things today right after the stream, but I'm debating on it because I kind of needed to write out a script more. Was going to talk about this movie Tomboy that actually has a 40th anniversary coming up in like a week or so, and it's bad, but that was going to be a members only type video, and I'm thinking I might even, there's a possibility of some channel rebranding around here also, but I might hire out somebody to do like some new animated graphics, in the sense that you know, have like a special intro for the 18 plus only tier members only thing, or it wouldn't be too radical, but you know, whatever. So yeah, what else are we saying here? The family and the witch leaves the church. So I thought this was the punishment for it, but that was the subjective on my part. The film kept that open. I think there's a possibility there was a witch in the family. But I mean, we think of the term witch hunt like they're unfairly prosecuted. Well, if not for our good forefathers in Salem, Massachusetts, we could be overran by witches, but they took that initiative, right? I'll see you later, brother. Watch my niece right now. Oh, you're watching your niece. I'm not watching her. I'm not into that. So yes, I may finish up a script or two. I might put on a sport jacket get some kind of shirt on and record something here. And then I have to debate. Do I watch Dune 2? Are you guys going to want to hear about that a year later? I have, Walmart is supposed to be finally sending me my Deadpool and Wolverine 4K that they actually restocked. And that shit is just, I swear, just not moving anywhere at all. I'm going to try to pull that up here and look. I don't know what the deal is. Just nobody can get their shit together. Everything is artificially low volume. Arrives Monday, it says. Track shipping. Is it going anywhere? Package in transit. Well, you know what? A package arrived in Missouri. So it was in Kentucky for a week. So something went to Missouri. So we're making progress. But yes, Deadpool and Wolverine 4K coming. We have a number of things over on Netflix that I'm assuming they're just not going to let me watch in 4K HDR. We've got the Kevin Costner Horizon thing. That's getting there. And we have the Dune 2. There was something else, the new Godzilla thing, but I never watched any of the new Godzillas in that timeline with Kong and the Skull Island, so I'm too far out on that. But yeah, things are happening. We're shooting for the moon here. Going to try to make videos that have some kind of substance and aren't just repeating things that somebody heard on the news. Hey, I watched a clip from Fox News and now I have to talk about it. Let me hold my phone up to the screen. Shit. All right. Yeah. Let's see. How do I end these? Is it, if you made it this far, wait for marriage counseling, or till next time, adios? Can't remember.